Hi there, welcome back. Welcome back to the third video in this Zenith Trans-Oceanic Royal D7000Y series. Whoa, what a mouthful, but what a radio. It's a great radio so far. As you can see, it's in its cabinet again, but I'll show you how it got here. It actually got here twice. I put it in too early, but I'll explain that in the video. And we are nearly there. Not quite, but we are nearly there. So stick around and enjoy the video. I've just done some cleaning on the dial lamp switch. That needed a bit of spray, but it's working. This works off the 1.5 volt battery. That's the only condition that it requires. It will not work on AC power. So here we go. Those two are working. I've also measured the voltage of the two pins coming at the back that go to that map display light that's here in the front when you flip it up, and they are working. They draw quite a bit of current at 1.5 volts, which is the battery voltage. These two are drawing about 650 milliamps. So you can understand why they didn't make this incorporated into the radio. It would get rid of the batteries really quick. All right, one more thing done. And of course, before considering this ready to go back, I've re-cleaned these switches, both internally with contact cleaner as well as the shafts, and the same with the potentiometers and switches over here. They've been resprayed, and the same applies to the selector switch. This one you've got to clean especially well. I found this clip at the bottom of the radio when I opened it up, and it had a little peg in the middle. So I started looking around. These are the clips. There. There's one up here that hasn't got a clip either. But this clip was lying at the bottom with that a piece of that middle broken inside there. So we just want to get this thing perfect. So I've stuck it back, and we'll see if we can leave this thing looking perfect inside and out. As you're probably aware, I'm trying to get the insides all cleaned up. There's not much to clean, just a bit of dust here and there. Maybe a bit of polishing of the brass, of the chrome. But I want to get it done so that I can get the radio back in and do the alignment, the RF alignment. Before you put this thing in the case, I suggest you do what I didn't do, which is read the instructions. The FM IF alignment, and I think actually some of the RF alignment, has to be done from the front over here. And I didn't do that. I went straight in and put this in the case, tried to do it from the back, and realized there was some adjustments on the front here. So I had to take it out, no big deal, but here we are again. So here we have the radio set to FM. The tuning, they say, set to 98. I can't really set it to 98 because I've got a very strong station on 98 exactly, and that comes through even without any antenna. So I've got it just below 98, about 97. Everything seems to be set, and I've got a 10.7 megahertz signal coming from the signal generator over there. It is coupled through a capacitor through the switch attenuator, and it's going to that point B. Now, point B is that little pin over there that's sort of between the two transistors. That's where the signal is going into. And they tell us that we have to measure the audio output. So we're sending a 10.7 megahertz signal modulated with a tone on it. It's a 1 kilohertz tone. And they tell us to adjust various coils or various adjustments. Now, I've got this thing coming to this speaker, which, by the way, I've changed over because I've made it I've put a dummy load in this particular speaker. Just makes it easier for me, so I can switch between tone or a resistive load, which represents a speaker. And I'm going to start. So according to the first one, it says adjust T5. Now T5 is that guy over there. Now I've got one more problem. When I put this tone on, they tell us to adjust it so that the audio output is approximately 0.4 volts. What I've found is that this thing is actually pretty noisy with a very low signal. Okay, I suppose that's the way they want it. That's the way they're going to get it. And we have to watch that, that meter, which I've connected across the audio. I've got, as I've shown you, I've got the tone coming through, and I've got the AFC on FM, so it's off. And we are ready to go. What else do they tell us to do? Align AFC with AFC, align FM with AFC off. Right, got that. And now I'm going to adjust that guy. So I'm going to watch the meter and we will tweak this guy over here. I think the one that works on this one is this guy. Well, it is working. Seems to have been at a peak anyway. Yeah, that's a peak. That one's done. Next one they tell us to look at is 203 and 206. Now, 203 and 206 are, let me put the tone on so if I lose the signal for some reason, I will know. I'm just lowering the volume. You see, we're getting that station coming through. You can just hear it. Okay, 203 and 206. I have to sort of bend this, lean this. Oh, speaker connection's not too good over here. Let me correct that. Doesn't seem that putting this to ground makes any difference. You see, I've just disconnected this from ground and it made absolutely... Or did it? Don't think it made any difference to the tone. But 203 and 206 are that one there, the one, this one here, closest out to the back, and this one here. So let's try that again. I'll have to put the volume up, so I'll put this on load. Well, I can actually put the level just a little bit higher. A little bit lower. There we go, just under 0.4. So we will try and adjust this guy here, see what we get. It's going down. It was at a peak, no difference. Let's try this guy. Nope, that's at a peak. No difference whatsoever. And now they tell us to do 208 and top of 208. Now again, top of 208 I think is that guy there. I can't remember. No, it's that one there. I keep forgetting which one's the top, which one's the bottom. I'd made the same mistake with the 3000. I think the top of 208 is the bottom down here. I seem to recall that's the mistake I made. So let's see if I can improve that. Keeping the level very low. Well, that's making a difference. There we go. We've done it. Actually, that made quite an improvement. This connection's just come off. Okay, so that made quite an improvement. That's the IF done. And now I need to adjust the discriminator. And the discriminator is slightly different. Now, this particular one is a bit strange. They tell you to connect the probe to pin 6 of transformer 208, which you have to look on the schematic. There's a drawing so you can figure out which one is pin 6, and you adjust the bottom to 0. I don't know where they mean for me to connect this to. This is not the way I'm used to doing it, because I will not get 0. You're supposed to measure the balance point. So what I'm going to do, I've actually tried it. It doesn't work. I'm not getting what I want to get on there. Let me see if I take away the modulation. Okay. Well, that does go down. Let me see what happens when I... Maybe it's supposed to be DC volts? Doubt it. That's not giving me what I want. So I'm going to forget about that. I'm going to look at the scope and do it by the scope again. So what I'm going to do here now is, instead of trying that other method, which it's not working for me, I'm not getting anywhere near 0 volts, I'm going to just look at the sine wave coming out of the speaker, and I'm going to adjust it, see if I can get the best sine wave possible. It is there. I'm just going to see if it gets any improvement. Oh, I've got a bit more there, and then it starts coming down. So I'm going to call that the least distorted sine wave that I can get out of there. So if I'm sending a signal here with a modulated sine wave, and the result's going through all the IF and out of the discriminator, and it's coming out there as a perfect sine wave, the best sine wave I can get, I know I've balanced them. And it seems that the IF alignment for the FM is done. I've got a slight improvement on that one coil. The others seem to be in perfect condition, in perfect shape, whereas as regards where they were, not much adjustment at all. We got a little bit more out of it, but FM was picking up very well anyway. Now I'm going to have a look at the instructions again and see if I can indeed put this into the case now, or if I need to get to the front again. I think I do. I think there is the oscillator coil and so on that I need to work on the front. So I'll have a look at that. Well, next they're telling us to adjust the alignment, the dial accuracy on this thing. And these are done from the front. It's coils 7, 3, and 5, FM antenna coil, FM detector, FM oscillator coil. So I have got this thing here. I've got it set to 88. You're supposed to set it to 98 and make some adjustments on those guys over there. I don't want to mess with that if I don't have to. I've got this on 88. I don't even have it connected. I've just got a piece of wire sticking out here. So basically I'm transmitting a signal on 88. I'm on exactly 88 over there. If I go to another frequency, 98, it's just slightly out. But it is out, and I know it's out, so yeah, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to align it. Damn, I didn't want to do that. Let me set this up. Okay, folks, how not to do it. I tried with various tools that I made. I think it's something like this. It wasn't working. I ended up noticing that there's a little screw there, which is basically what's getting turned. So I tried this thing, and unfortunately for me, this is a very thin pliers. It is a pliers. You should not use that on there. I did it very carefully, very slowly, and I slowly pulled it up. I kept moving it on there to 98, which is what I've got it on now, and I've got it exactly on 98. There's a station on there, so that's exactly on 98. That's what I'm prepared to risk. I'm not going to risk those two at the bottom. They're going to stay, but I've got the alignment of the 98 perfectly aligned, and I can now just give my nerves a rest. I was petrified that I could damage that. It seems that fortunately this metal does not actually go into the core, so it wasn't affecting it, or otherwise this side of it is ground. I don't know. But I guess I was lucky. I don't have a tool for this. I'm sure somebody out there can tell me what exact tool this uses. This one here, this is the one Pizzotone sent me, which he sort of made himself. This one works brilliantly on all these that have to go through to the other side, and you can use this side as well. There's a hexagonal part here as well. But as for these, I don't know. Anyway, it was slightly off. It is now perfectly aligned. And I'm going to consider myself lucky, not push my luck any further. That's all I need to do on the outside. I'm going to be putting this in the case, and then I'll be able to do the RF alignment from the back, because as I said to you, All these you can access from the back, and you should really do them inside a case. Why is the FM different? Well, the FM is different here because this is already in a metal case. This is a metal shield. It's a complete metal box, so I guess it makes no difference. Right. Ah, damn. That was nerve-wracking. Okay, let me carry on. Okay, she's back in the cabinet, in the enclosure, and I'm going to test the FM. That 88 is just slightly off to the right. That station is on 88. Remember, I aligned it at 98. This does not give us an upper and lower alignment. It just gives us the one reference point, and then it takes a pre-selected or preset band and it shifts it up or down. So you can't really sort of stretch it or compress it, but that's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Será feita numa conferência de imprensa no Centro Cultural de Belém, com a presença da Ministra da Cultura e dos 13 jurados nacionais e internacionais que hoje ouviram a fechada os argumentos.
The AFC is working very well. If I take this off the station, I can see the tuning indicator is pretty weak over there. I've got it on the station. If I take it to the edge, still showing the maximum indication here, but if I take AFC off, you can hear it. So AFC locks it in, and then see how it locks back? So it works pretty well. These are weak stations over here anyway. This station here I normally don't receive. This one's picking it up very well. 101.6 is the one that I listen to mostly. Perfect. And up here we got one which is very weak normally, but this is actually picking it up. Not perfectly, but it is. And there's actually another one, 106.8, which I never hear. And this one's actually picking some of it up. So our FM is good. Our FM is working. And I'll just show you something. I'm going to put it on long wave. What I did was, before I put it into the enclosure, I did an RF alignment of long wave. I wanted to see whether it made much difference when I got it into the enclosure. I'll be doing the medium wave probably to show you how it's done or how I do it, and then I'll show you a couple of the shortwave ones. But listen to this. That's long wave, okay? That's long wave with a mini whip. There's our beacon, Porto Santo. This here is actually, I believe it's radio RTE Island, 252 kilohertz. It's just off the 250. This is BBC Radio 4 coming from the south of England.
Where are you? I've just been doing some song central.
It transmits on 198 kilohertz. This is just off the 200.
Did you put the card through the door? Yes. Ce mercredi, l'UE rajoute 160 citoyens russes
don't know what this
à
is.
sa liste noire. Et puis un mot de la situation humanitaire dans le pays et l'ONU qui estime désormais à plus de 2 millions le nombre de personnes ayant fui les combats.
I think this is from North Africa. And here's another one. Now, if you live in a country that actually has long wave, you might not be surprised, but I think that these radios that I develop, that I restore here, are the only radios on the island of Madeira that pick up long wave. And it's because of the mini whip. I had never heard of long wave on Madeira. I had no idea that we could actually receive it, but this is proof. And this is mid-afternoon, so it's not a good time for long wave, but it's still doing it. What I'll be doing next is I'll be doing the RF alignment. I'll probably redo long wave just to make sure that it hasn't shifted much. You might actually get the right dial accuracy, but the antenna circuit and the actual oscillator and the actual RF tuning might not be perfect or might not be peaked. So I think I'll probably do the whole RF alignment, and I'll just basically go through a couple of them in the next video to show you how I do it, and then there'll be a few little things that I need to touch up here. One of them, for example, is the supply, the transformer, the AC supply on the back of this unit. It's still staring me in the face over there. I've got to check it and replace the capacitor, but we're nearly there. And I'm going to cut it off here for now. And thank you once again for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, click like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And if you want to support the channel directly, you can do so on Patreon. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye for now and stay safe.